Bant Company is a deck I don't always associate with a player like Chihoi. Normally, he is a true control mage. We see him with Miracles when he plays. You see him here on the tour in Legacy. Some standard control decks as well every time it's available. I guess draw, go, control. I'm actually a player who likes that. There isn't too much. It's hard to find that deck in Modern.
Yeah, there's a couple options. You know, Jeskai Control is generally the best deck that kind of falls in that style.
Even that one's, it's not draw, go. It's like draw, bolt you. You know, they send lightning bolts off upstairs a lot for draw, go.
Right. I mean, the players that talk about quote-unquote true control, they're kind of just asking too much.
They're kind of just jerks, I hear.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right. Caleb starting off on Opt against Chihoi's Birds of Paradise.
Not surprising that Opt was the play here. That untapped shock usually means that.
Steam Vent's Shock go.
Yeah, your turn. I don't need 2 life. Caleb looking through some options on turn 2. Sometimes you have the choice between Mana Creature and leaving up Remand. Against Birds of Paradise, Remand's not super important.
I'd say Mana Creature's pretty good. The only ways that Chihoi can answer it are these 3 paths to exile, and that's fine.
Yes.
So we'll see Goblin Electromancer from Scherer.
There are 3 Reflector Mage in the deck.
And there's one of them. Goblin's back in Caleb's hand. Good call. Perhaps the best play Chihoi could have had there.
Yeah. Super tempo positive. You're not going to get Electromancer into comboed this turn.
Could get Brawl into comboed.
And you could get Electromancer into combo next turn.
Gifts Ungiven is in Caleb's hand, so a huge win for Reflector Mage.
That is a very positive tempo swing in Chihoi's favor.
Can Caleb do anything here? We will see.
Ritual does put Gifts online this turn if he wants to go that route.
He's going to, I like this, repeal the Birds of Paradise. Found a tempo positive play. I'll take that one.
And rewarded pretty highly. Serum Vision's drawn off the repeal.
He found the Serum Visions off the repeal?
Yep. And the repeal, it's really not going to play in a combo turn. Next turn, Caleb knows that he can cast the Electromancer. He knows he's playing against this Bant deck. It's good against most of what's happening. So potentially is greenlit for a combo and gets to do some redrawing in the interim. Pretty good turn for Caleb. Well played.
Top, bottom on Serum Visions. Believe he had found a Grape Shot off it. Back a retreat to Chihoi. This also puts some pressure. If he has a Spell Queller, he can't both recast Birds of Paradise and leave up Spell Queller. It'll tax his mana.
Right. And he knows about Electromancer, so you really want to leave up Queller.
If you have it. Right, you don't want to let Caleb go land for Electromancer and hope he doesn't combo you. That's,
right.
It's not a good idea.
And even if you leave up Queller mana, the Storm deck does have some counterplay to that.
Yeah.
Couple remands.
Noble Hierarch and an Exalted Attack from Chihoi. And is that just a pass? It is not only does he not have the Queller, he doesn't have the 3rd land. He has shields down here.
You couldn't even bluff the Queller without that land drop, so now you just have to let Caleb show you what he has and hope that it's not enough to win.
Yeah. Risky one here. Goblin Electromancer from Caleb.
It's at least a ritual in the hand.
A Grape Shot and 1/1. Now that he saw Chihoi miss the land, might as well shoot that Noble Hierarch down.
I think he's in that position where you can Gifts Ungiven, but you're a mana shy of fully comboing, but you get the combo for sure next turn.
Ryan, Caleb has left up a Shivan Reef, and he has a Remand in his hand. Imagine how Remand is bad here. If Chihoi misses the land drop and you Remand his Birds of Paradise, we're just getting into some really rude play.
I mean, remanding anything here.
Yeah.
That remand is just good.
I suppose if Chihoi draws the land and leaves up Spell Queller, well, you'll remand that too.
Yes. Maybe even your own spell.
Sure.
Either of those doesn't really matter.
I think it would be dependent on whether or not he has the win or whether he's looking.
Yeah.
Reflector Mage continues to attack. Caleb is fine with that. Shioi going to go for Birds of Paradise. See if Caleb wants to remand it. Nah, he's fine. Shioi's tapped down anyway. What's the point?
Yeah. 3-man can also come in clutch on the combo turn to remand your own Grape Shot. You don't want to fire it off too willy-nilly.
So Caleb starts his turn here with 5 lands. It's an excellent opportunity if he has the combo to go for something. And it looks like he does. Here is the first one of the combo turn. It's going to be Desperate Ritual. Sends him up to 3 red. And we're off.
Let's get that Caleb Scherer Storm counter on the table.
Not much to fear off just Hallowed Fountain. And I know Caleb has a Gifts Ungiven in his hand. I can't imagine he'll miss with Electromancer, this much mana, and a Gifts.
A Bant mana base is going to be kind of fringe in Modern. Depending on what you see, you might think it's a deck like Bant Spirits. The Birds of Paradise plus Reflector Mage, pretty telltale that it's something, maybe a combo deck, at least kind of a Bant Company value deck.
And we'll get the mana pile. This is 3 Rituals and a Past in Flames. This is one of these stock 4s off Gifts Ungiven. You'll see it generally when a player is just looking to combo immediately.
Yep.
And Shioi will try to deny mana. He'll give Caleb the Past in Flames and the Manamorphose.
Right. Just Manamorphose does not get you to enough mana to meaningfully cast the Past in Flames, though any additional mana gets you there.
So, third spell is Manamorphose, making a red and a blue. We'll draw a card. Well, with the Electromancer in play, Ryan, I actually think he's already got it, right? Past in Flames just costs 3, and he can start again out of the graveyard.
Oh, yeah, we had one floating.
Yeah, and that's what he'll do.
Yeah, he's just there.
Out of the graveyard. So we've only have 4 spells so far, but spell 5 is Pyretic Ritual, back up to 3 red. And we got some good ones. Spell 6 is a Desperate Ritual. Spell 7's is a Manamorphose. Now 2 blue and drawing.
And this is just where it's smooth sailing. The Past in Flames is still in the graveyard. That's available to flashback. You get the Gifts Ungiven. That one's already in the graveyard with flashback. Get some more rituals.
He only has 1 Grape Shot in the yard. He still, and this will do it with, he casts Gifts Ungiven, and as long as there's a Grape Shot in this gifts pile, it doesn't matter whether it's in the graveyard or in the hand. I think he can get Noxious Revival.
He still has Remand too, right? In his hand?
Yes.
So yeah, getting access to Grape Shot, which he already has. He has one. You can't use flashback on that one. That's true.
So he gets Grape Shot, Noxious Revival, and 2 other cards. It'll really force Shioi to put Grape Shot and Noxious in the graveyard. So he's needing a Ritual, a Gifts, a Noxious Revival, and a Grape Shot, I believe.
I mean, we're at the point where Caleb's win is locked up.
Yeah, we'll see the way he chooses to do it, but it does look pretty good for him right now.
Yeah, 3 mana available, still another Ritual in the graveyard.
Right, that first Grape Shot is already good for 9. He could just storm to 16 here. It's not out of the picture. If he finds a second Grape Shot, that double red will immediately win.
Just with ritual piles, it's not that hard to get up to 16 Storm. He's getting stuff that's a little bit fancier, like Noxious Revival, additional Gifts Ungiven. But once you start going off with Past in Flames plus Gifts Ungiven, there's a lot of different routes that are going to get you to a full combo. Shioi is going to think about splitting this. With just 3 mana up, there's some temptation to put the Gifts in Scheer's hand, but he technically does have 5 mana up because there was already an active Ritual in the graveyard.
Gives Caleb a Gift and a Manamorphose. Caleb will then cast the Manamorphose. Making spends a red to make a red and blue, draw a card. Storm is at 9. Ritual places Storm at 10. 5 more spells will do it.
Pretty full hand, including a Gifts Ungiven. Also 2 Rituals currently in the graveyard without flashback, plus that Past in Flames.
Flashes back Past in Flames. That's spell 11. And now his graveyard should be live here. Spell 12's a ritual. Spell 13 is a ritual. Spell 14's a noxious.
Well, yeah, you can just...
Spell 15's an opt. Spell 16's a lethal grape shot.
You can also just go off huge by noxiousing the grape shot to the top, manamorphosing into that, and then the remand in the hand is live. But he really easily just has natural 16.
It's already on the board, and then he demonstrates it. Chihoy picks up the cards. Caleb Scherer going to take game 1.
Yep. Yeah, some mana trouble, though Chihoy's deck does not bring a lot to the table in game 1 that can really interact anyway.
Yeah, even with the mana, I don't know how much more interaction he has. A Spell Queller would have been nice there, but it would have been only the beginning of a way to win.
Right. Yeah, still had to deal plenty of damage. You know, Caleb had a lot of life to play with from that point in time.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and actually in our Gingo game, I get another square here. Gifts Ungiven, cast for 3 mana. I'm going to check that one off.
Yeah, that one's been waiting in the wings.
Between Caleb Scherer and Paul Muller, we've seen them both on camera already today. So at game night, we've seen our pins and tokens, but you can get any part of our creature collection already from our store. Playing with Fire, the July promo is now available on playmats, sleeves, and in bundles, and you can get those and previous creature collection art on order over at starseagames.com/creature collection.
I'd say it's a cute little dragon, but it's a pretty big dragon.
And look at that knight. It's way bigger.
Yeah. I thought it was just a whelp, but that is a large one.
So let's look at some sideboards for Bant Company. Game 1, there's not too much that interacts in their decks, so we'll be looking at the sideboard. Chihoy has 6 2-ofs. Blessed Alliance, Burnt-in Forge Tender, Damping Spear, Sony Silence, Tireless Tracker, and Unified Will. A lot of those actually play here. And actually his sideboard has more cards I like. The one-ofs are Courser of Krufix, Eidolon of Rhetoric, and Thalia.
Yeah, there's a good mix here. Damping Sphere is quite powerful. Unified Will to fight over some of these spells like Gifts Ungiven, Past in Flames. Eidolon of Rhetoric demands an answer, and it demands it not be Lightning Bolt. It has to actually be a bounce spell because of the 4th point of toughness. And Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, plays very effectively. It's kind of like another Damping Sphere, except it can attack.
Yeah, Thalia is pretty good. Well, it's not that Caleb can get past Thalia by just having one of each of his mana creatures.
He can also get past it by having a Grape Shot.
A Grape Shot, yeah. Now, Damping Sphere is progressively more with each card.
Yeah,
so he actually can't really combo through a Damping Sphere. He has to remove it.
There's a reason you see the 2-to-1 bias. Yeah, Damping Sphere is the better card.
Certainly against Storm. Now, on Caleb's side, it's actually not exactly the same sideboard as Paul. Paul Muller was playing Pyromancer Ascension. Caleb not on it today. Surprised to see them have some divergence in lists.
Yeah, I talked to Caleb earlier. He mentioned that he was heavier on empty. He believes that people are going for graveyards a little bit more now with their hate, and that makes sense with KCI becoming more popular.
Absolutely.
I guess Paul's just not on board.
We did see when Zach Elsick was on camera in round 2, his opponent boarding in 3 Leyline of the Voids. I don't think Caleb's read's wrong.
Yeah.
Now, Caleb does have 3 Lightning Bolts and an Abrade for removal. And then he has an Echoing Truth and Wipe Away for bounce. Do you like all of the above, some of the above here?
You for sure want the bolts and the Abrade. It's not clear that Caleb has 100% pegged the matchup he's playing, specifically that it's the Retreat to Coral Helm combo version, but he at least knows that he's playing against some manner of spell queller strategy. That has to be there. So the red spells definitely play in a big way. He's going to want the bounce spells, and to be fair, there's a good amount of white sideboard cards that make that the case, and even just redundant ways to interact with Spell Queller are pretty good, so wouldn't be surprised to see the full mix. When you start looking at spells like this, frequently you see Storm players reach for pieces of the puzzle, just kind of agnostic of the matchup. For the most part, though, you need to get these answers to things like Spell Queller into your deck, things like Damping Sphere, as Chihoy boards into more hateful cards. And Caleb will be on the draw here. Chihoy is a Birds of Paradise deck here. So those Lightning Bolts, they can play in more ways than one, obviously, whereas the Echoing Truth, the Wipe Aways, they play such a narrow element. They're only for Spell Quellers. They're only for hate cards. Looks like Chihoy's taking a mulligan.
Okay. And in this matchup, Chihoy does have to mulligan for these cards that matter. I think if he just has an opener, a traditional company opener, he's just not likely to win.
Yeah, the fundamentals of it are that his strategy is just kind of slower in a proactive sense. without comboing, you're just using Noble Hierarch, you're casting Knight of the Reliquary, and it's hard, not hard enough. The Storm deck has turn 3s, turn 4s fairly easily. So in the sideboard games, you really need to have some of your hate cards. You'll settle for a Spell Queller if the rest of your hand is pretty strong otherwise. Mostly, though, you really want an Eidolon of Rhetoric, you really want a Damping Sphere.
Chihoy checking on 6 here. There is that issue when you play a hate card against Storm. It's not enough to mulligan to your hate card because you still need pressure. Storm is built up to beat a pressureless hate card.
Yes.
Chihoy going to go to 5. It's a tough matchup.
Yes. Yeah, mulliganing against Storm always feels so bad because it's frequently the case that you have to be able to fight the deck on multiple axes. For the Bant Company deck, that's going to be establishing Damping Sphere and then likely needing to use Spell Queller to block for it. Fight over something like an Echoing Truth, if Caleb has access to that. Because of Gifts Ungiven, because of potentially sideboard pieces of the puzzle, it's pretty hard or pretty easy rather, for Caleb to find his counterplay. Deck is loaded up with cantrips in the first place. Serum Visions, Opt, Manamorphose. Caleb gets a lot more looks at what he wants than Chihoy does. Let's see if we can stick on 5 here. Yikes.
No, okay. Are there, and this is an unfortunate situation for Chihoy. A lot of times when you, maybe these are all mulligans that are non-optional. You know, they could just all be regular mulligans. One of the issues when you take a strategic mulligan, that's the idea, meaning it's a hand that has lands and spells, but not the correct lands and spells, or one that you believe can be improved. So then you can run into a situation where once you mulligan to 6, then you start getting non-functional mulligans, and you'll end up on 4 cards. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much Bant Company is a deck that can reasonably work on 4 cards here.
The mix you're looking for is 2 mana sources, Damping Sphere. You'll probably take anything like that. That's a great starting point. You're going to need
Noble
more.
Hierarch, Damping Sphere, 2 lands, great.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
That's a hand that can potentially win if you just find a spell you can cast in every turn of the game. Maybe add, say, a turn 2 Knight, have a Spell Queller on top of that. That hand can win games.
You're honestly just keeping any 4 here that has a land in it.
Probably.
But you're right, that's the kind that might be able to win.
Yeah. And it looks like he scryed to the top. Was it turn 1 planes here? We'll get the check for the turn 2 Damping Sphere. Without that, it's going to be really hard to win. And even with it, it's still an uphill battle.
Top bottom on Caleb's Serum Visions. We go back to Chihoy. And Selfless Spirit. It's a clock.
Yeah.
Maybe a hate card. Throw an Eidolon here, and we might be playing.
Sure.
Hope this doesn't get grape-shotted down. That would just be feel
bad.
bad.
Well, the thing about it, it doesn't really have counterplay in as far as defending Eidolon, because the stuff that deals with it is already only bounce spells.
Here's Baral from Caleb.
I don't believe Caleb is packing Dismember.
No, not
I guess
today.
that actually also wouldn't matter against the Selfless Spirit. The stuff that deals with it, I guess it would be Flame Slash, but Storm decks don't play that. Yeah, the Spirit gets to attack, and that's about all it does.
Yeah, swings in. Chihoy plays Horizon Canopy. Passes. Still just 1 card in hand. I'm all into 4, catching up to him. Caleb untapping with Baral. We'll see how quick of a game we have. There was no blue mana on Chihoy's side. I guess there technically is, but it's costly.
Right. There is a basic island in the deck. Yeah, the Ghost Quarter can unlock that.
Oh, and then we have to do it. Okay. Floats a mana. Ghost Quarters is basic. This is we're Spell Queller. We're casting Spell Queller here?
Yes.
Caleb just has a Remand to be the rudest.
The hope is that you can Spell Queller the Manamorphose, and Caleb was relying on redrawing to actually assemble a combo on this turn.
Yeah, you hope to Spell Queller here, and then Caleb to say, okay, and then pass you the turn. No land drop.
It is a big ask, but you don't have anything else going on.
Here's Spell Queller for the Manamorphose. You know, for a 4-card hand, this is fine.
Yeah, we're playing a game.
Caleb still has a land. He has a Grape Shot as well. 3 spells have been cast this turn. So
Yeah, the Spirit could block for the Spell Queller, so
Okay.
that's something.
Yeah, I can make it indestructible. It's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, your hand's kind of forced on that one.
I might as well. Storm will be 3. And he'll go 1 at the Spirit and 2 at Chihoi. Just might as well take his free damage.
Yeah. You know the Spirit's getting sacrificed if you just go 3 at the Queller. And how about this? A Braid backup?
Oh, this is when Chihoi went to sacrifice the Spirit, then we abraded.
Yeah.
And now you get the Manamorphose back. Now, Caleb has to cast Manamorphose this turn. It's unclear, since he had to tap all his lands, that this will do much for him. If he can still combo right now, that's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Not that it matters. Chihoi has 2 lands and no board and no cards.
Right.
Make 1 card.
I would guess that it's not a Damping Sphere as well. That's my read. I feel like if that was available last turn, he would have cast it. Caleb having a ritual to start here. See if we have something like Gifts Ungiven. Or how about a Pass in Flames?
So we're still going. All right, Pass and Flame Storms at 7. Look at that graveyard again. Another ritual. Another ritual. Yeah.
2 rituals. The Grape Shot's already there. That was fired off this turn.
He's got another Grape Shot in his hand. Then we've done it.
Yeah, we're already there.
Yeah, Storms at 9.
He has a Serum Visions in the graveyard that he can freely recast.
Storm up to 10. We cast Serum Visions. Double Scry here for Caleb. 2 more cantrips. It's both sleight of hand.
Didn't see what the last pickup was. I know that one of the pickups through these cantrips was an island that's not going to play.
We'll make an Electromancer. Ooh, I like this. Are we just going to Grape Shot for 12? Yeah, we're going to Grape Shot Chihoi for 12. Chihoi goes down to 5. I think we can attack with Baral.
Or not.
Wow. Caleb wasn't summoning sick. How rude.
With the Grape Shot for 12, that doesn't actually impact the clock.
No, not at all.
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah, Chihoi says go. I think we're fine. Now the mana creatures are going to walk it in. Chihoi's going to pass the Electromancer. But he took a damage to do it. 4.
We'll see. Now that
Baral hit.
That missed attack with Baral.
That's a turn.
That is a full turn.
Chihoi's at 3.
No, one of the cards in Caleb's hand from here is an island. He has that sleight of hand, firing off sleight of hand. Pretty easy to assemble lethal if he ever finds another Grape Shot. Yeah, got to figure those lightning bolts are in the deck as well. Also, Chihoi's not doing anything, and one of his lands deals damage to him every time he taps it.
You know, just things. Ooh, Noble Hierarch down to 2. See, if Chihoi was at 1, this play would be bad.
Yes.
Because he'd have to chump block.
Correct. Just punished is Caleb Scherer.
He's going to lose now. Gifts Ungiven. Well, you can't give him Grape Shot if he puts a Grape Shot in this pile.
Can't give him Grape Shot, can't give him Lightning Bolt.
Noxious Revival, probably can't give him that.
I would put an Electromancer in the split. That's just a lethal attack.
Oh, that's so good. Just put a 2/2 in there for that Grizzly Bear.
What do you think about this?
That's the rudest. Yeah, I put Grizzly Bears in here. You're at 2. It's a good card.
Context is everything.
Do it. I want to see an Electromancer in here.
He's so deliberate. Always.
Lightning Bolt, Manamorphose, Noxious Revival, Grape Shot.
Okay. It's a good pile.
Well, he doesn't give him Bolt or Grape Shot.
Well, he kind of does.
Oh, because you can Noxious Manamorphose. You get the Grape Shot no matter what, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, this is better than Electromancer, but less stylish.
Yeah.
Because it immediately wins.
Winning the game this turn's pretty good.
Grape shot you. That'll do it. Caleb Scherer improves to 5-0. Convincing 2-0 win over Chihoy Yim. It's a tough matchup for Chihoy, and then he had to mulligan as well.
Starting off strong after being declared our Season 1 points leader. Coming off those 3 buys, quick 2 wins, 5-0. Had a pretty easy go of it against Chihoy Yim this round. Of course, Chihoy's deck not really cooperating. 4-card hand in game number 2. Was able to force some interaction there, but not nearly enough to get there.